Evade death, loot, shoot, throw a pool table through a window, decimate hordes of demons, become a powerful Githyanki warrior. You can do all these things and much more on your PS5 alone, but it's much more fun when you do it with a friend or loved one on the same couch together. Playing cooperatively with the same goal in the same room with a friend has always been one of my favorite ways to game. Welcome to Gameless Plus, I'm Josh, and today I am going over the 10 best couch co-op games for PlayStation 5. You can play all of these PS5 games right now, and they are all worth your time and money. Starting off at number 10, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is an action, role-playing, first-person shooter spin-off of the Borderlands series. This is a game within a game, essentially. Within this story is a tabletop role-playing game that Tina and her friends are playing together. So rather than just being a straight-up first-person shooter with lots of guns, which it does have, there are a good amount of action RPG elements as well. You're able to create your own custom character from a variety of classes, and even wield melee weapons and use magic to whack the bad guys. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands has a light and funny storyline with hilarious voice acting from Ashley Birch, Adam Sandberg, Wanda Sykes, Will Arnett, and others. This is a great looter shooter, and it is best experienced in the split-screen mode with a buddy through the whole main story. The game really shows off the PS5's ability to still make a game look great even in split-screen mode. So grab a buddy and get looting and shooting. Next up at number 9, The Quarry. The Quarry is an interactive drama horror video game where players take control of 9 teenage counselors who must survive a night at Hackett's Quarry summer camp. This choose-your-own-adventure style game with multiple endings is a great game to play on the couch with someone else. You divvy up the characters between 2 players and play through the game like watching a movie. You make your choices individually or together, which lead to survival or death in a case-by-case basis. It has a great ensemble cast including Brenda Song, David Arquette, Ted Raimi, Ariel Winter, Justice Smith, and many others. If you like movies like Friday the 13th or the previous game from these same game makers, Until Dawn, you'll have a great time with this one. The Quarry is especially fun with a significant other. Just like going to a horror movie, but you get to be a lot more involved. Coming in at number 8, A Way Out. A Way Out is a cooperative action-adventure that tells the story of Vincent and Leo, 2 convicts who must work together to escape from prison. This is one of those rare games that is actually designed to be played with a friend. Each player controls one of the convicts and must work together to solve puzzles, overcome obstacles, and fight enemies. One of the best things about this game is that you actually get into the characters Leo and Vincent. They both have their own motivations in the story, and the actors who play them do a great job bringing them to life as the story progresses. As your adventure rolls along, it never really gets boring or repetitive. You're not just running around doing nothing. There's a constant progression with a series of what are essentially mini-games that you play together cooperatively. The things that you must accomplish can be as simple as pushing the buttons at the same time to get through a door, to very dramatic and cinematic moments that are what make this game really stand out as a whole. This is definitely a couch co-op game well worth the time of both you and your friend. At number 7, Unravel 2. Unravel 2 is a physics-based puzzle platformer that follows 2 yarny creatures as they work together to solve puzzles and progress through the world. This game is full of clever mechanics as you traverse the various landscapes. The atmosphere and music in Unravel 2's levels are really excellent. On top of that, the lighting effects, colors, details, and crisp, clean graphics look fantastic on the PS5. You can really feel the effort put into every area in this game. In the story, the Yarnies must help save some children from abusive adults in the small ways that they can. It's got a bit of a dark vibe as you play through the story, but it's done very well. Thankfully, the game isn't too crazy of a time commitment, running about 5 hours of delightful co-op gameplay. This game can be played alone, but it's really meant for 2 people to play together. I highly recommend it. Next, at number 6, Overcooked All You Can Eat. Okay, right up front, if you have a short temper, you should probably skip right past this game to the next one on the list. I do not want anyone to get hurt over this one. All You Can Eat is an awesome co-op game, but you might just lose your temper like Gordon Ramsay if things start going sideways because of a failure to communicate. The game is undoubtedly very fun and also quite chaotic. You must work together to cook and serve up dishes in increasingly challenging kitchens. Not only is the cooking challenging with all the different ingredients, you'll also have to deal with moving platforms, random fires, windstorms, conveyor belts, and sections of the kitchen just disappearing. So much chaos, so much fun, so little time. Communication and cooperation are the keys to success in this hilarious and frantic cooking simulation game. It might serve as a true test of your relationship with your play partner. If you get into a fight, don't say I didn't warn you. At number 5, Moving Out 2. In this sequel, you and your friend work together again as a moving crew. Your job is to relocate furniture in ridiculous and amusing scenarios. This is definitely a game of communication where you must be very clear who's taking what where, and when you really need help to ask for it as well as give it when it's needed. This game really is an exercise in patience with each other. Moving Out 2 is just like the first game, giving lots of laughs as you recklessly break glass, throw furniture, and frantically run around trying to beat the clock. This game can be played with up to 4 people simultaneously, strategically trying to move all the furniture out as quickly as possible, level by level. Moving Out 2 includes additional environmental elements not found in the first game, such as one-way doors and time-limited passages. This game really is a ton of fun. Next up at number 4, Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Sackboy: A Big Adventure is a 3D platformer that follows Sackboy, the protagonist of the Little Big Planet series, as he embarks on a journey to save Craftworld from the evil bad guy Vex. The gameplay is very reminiscent of Super Mario 3D World on Nintendo Switch and can be played by up to 4 players in local multiplayer. In this bright and colorful game, filled with fun characters, you'll collect orbs, find secret areas, and collect costume pieces that you can use to dress up your Sackboy in all kinds of fun ways. You'll find lots of secrets across the 5 main fabric-stitched worlds and 90 levels that bring this game together. Not to mention, it looks really great on the PS5. Sackboy: A Big Adventure is a lot of fun, and it's nice to have a game like this on PS5. A nice, light adventure that can easily be played with kids and adults all together. Next on the list is a game that is definitely not for kids. At number 3, Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is a massive action role-playing game. It's set in the world of Sanctuary and follows players as they battle against the demon Lilith and her forces of evil. I can tell you firsthand, playing Diablo 4 with a friend is the way to play. I did the same thing with Diablo 3, and it was also a lot of fun. Diablo 4 takes all the fun elements from the last game and just amplifies them with far superior graphics, smoother gameplay, beautifully improved combat mechanics, and another dark and twisted demon-slaying storyline. There are a variety of different classes that players can choose from, each with their own big skill tree of abilities and powers. The game's vast open world is a real delight to explore and pillage together as a team. There was so much hype and anticipation building up to the release of this game that as soon as it was released, there was a lot of negative backlash. But I think a lot of that is from people who were nitpicking, not just in there playing and enjoying this excellent game. Over time, I think it will become quite obvious that this is not only a great sequel, but one of the most fun couch co-op games to play on the PS5, and will remain really fun to play for years to come. Coming in at number 2, It Takes Two. It Takes Two is truly a masterpiece of cooperative storytelling and gameplay. The game tells the story of Cody and May, a couple who have been turned into dolls by their daughter Rose, trapped in a fantastical world where cooperative challenges lie around every corner. Cody and May must reluctantly work together to save their fractured relationship. The game does have to be played with 2 players, as there is no single player mode, which makes this game unlike any other action platforming puzzle game out there. My playthrough is one of the most interesting and unique gaming experiences I've had in years. You have to really work together with your play partner to figure out all the different ways to continue through the story, and the story is so solid, engaging, and funny. Not to mention the graphics look stellar on the PS5. It Takes Two has won over 90 awards, including Game of the Year in 2021 for a lot of good reasons. The story is meaningful and really does dive into the specifics of what makes a relationship work. It's such a cool experience to actually connect with the person you're playing with as you're hearing a story of the characters connecting in the game. It really is a unique and worthwhile experience. I could not recommend it more. Even though I didn't think another game could beat It Takes Two as a co-op experience, along came the game at the top of the list. At number 1, Baldurs Gate 3. Baldurs Gate 3 is a party-based role-playing game. It is set in the Dungeons & Dragons Forgotten Realms and follows a group of adventurers as they try to cure themselves of tadpoles that are turning them into disgusting, evil mind flayers. The gameplay in Baldurs Gate 3 consists of a deep and branching narrative system accompanied by turn-based combat with a massive amount of abilities, powers, and spells. The different archetypes for each class give different ways of attacking within the game. The combat in Baldurs Gate 3 is entirely turn-based with over 600 spells and abilities. You can play through the entire game in split-screen multiplayer mode on PS5. Each player controls a different character and makes choices that affect the story directly. You have unprecedented freedom of choice in this game, making it stand out from any other RPG out there. It is truly remarkable. Baldurs Gate 3 has a deep and engaging story, as well as an insane variety of different races, classes, and skills. Along with all those amazing elements, the game has an awesome style and an incredible soundtrack to carry you and your very devoted loved one through an incredibly rich 60-hour plus main story. This is an amazing game through and through and is incredible alone or with a friend. But the incredible depth and intricacy of gameplay that you can have while playing with a friend is unmatched by any other game. If you have the time and a committed partner to play this game with, Baldurs Gate 3 co-op is not to be missed. So, there you have it. The 10 best couch co-op games for PlayStation 5. After that list, it would be wrong for me not to mention some additional games that I didn't put on the list, and those are Divinity Original Sin 2, which is the previous game from the same developers behind Baldurs Gate 3. This game is similarly awesome with a rich story and cooperative split-screen turn-based combat. This game doesn't have the dice rolling element, which some people really like. I also have to suggest LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, as it's an awesome co-op experience with 300 playable characters, over 100 vehicles, and 23 planets to explore. It's got action-packed gameplay, great space shooting, lightsaber duels, boss fights, shootouts, and puzzles. And finally, Cuphead, a fast-paced 2D side-scroller with an emphasis on intense boss battles. If you like a game that is truly challenging and may make you want to break your controller but will offer you that amazing feeling when you finally beat it, pick this one up too. So, What do you think? Which one of these games have you played? What is your favorite co-op gaming experience ever? What is missing from this list that I didn't include? Let's talk about it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. And then check out some of my other game lists, plus much more. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time on Game List Plus.
Who should I call?
911.
You mean 911? Who says 911?
Goodbye, cruel world. We gotta get out.
I'm gonna enjoy watching you die.